So Danny, one of the things that I'm really interested in with influencers is how you manage them, because you can obviously have influencers on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn, and for companies that becomes quite unmanageable and takes too much time. So what are perhaps some of the tools they can use to make it manageable, to shortcut the process a bit? What would you recommend?
Sure. Well, within Twitter itself, you've got tools such as Twitter lists, where you can basically create a filtered group of people that you want to follow. So there might be a selective group of 4 or 5 influencers. What the list enables you to do is just monitor the feeds of those people as opposed to the feeds of everybody you follow. There's a tool called Hootsuite, which is very widely used by Twitter users. What Hootsuite enables you to do is you can create, again, a filtered list where you can monitor particular keywords. So, for example, it might be that you work in education and you're looking for discussions about numeracy and literacy. So again, you can basically just put in those keywords or put in those hashtags, and it will reveal the discussions of people in those subjects. What it will also tell you is if you see any discussion on Hootsuite that you think is interesting, you can click on the profile of that user, you can click on their username, and it will tell you a bit about them. It will tell you what's called their Klout score. Klout score is a score of 1 to 100 that will tell you how much influence somebody has. It's not necessarily an exact science, but a Klout score roughly will tell you not just how many followers, how big your following is, but how engaged your audience are as well. So how well do your audience know you and how much do they engage with you?
Are there any specific tools you'd recommend for some of the other platforms, such as Facebook, for example?
With Facebook, yes. With Facebook, there are a couple of tools that you can be using. For example, there's a tool called Agorapulse that will let you monitor your users. But in the main, I would say what you need to do is you just need to. Facebook's slightly more complicated in that with Twitter you can reach out to anybody and talk to them. With Facebook, somebody actually has to be not just a fan of your page, but they need to have sort of commented on something, and then you can talk to them. But what you should be doing is you should be monitoring your Facebook feed regularly to see which users are the vocal users who are regularly posting comments, and you should be engaging with those, because those could be your advocates. So if there is somebody on your Facebook page who is regularly, say, criticising your products, your services, don't take that as an offence. Don't use that as an opportunity. You need to actually engage with those people and actually find out what are they looking for. There could be other users who are listening to what they're saying. So if you are getting them on side, that could really help you to leverage your brand in a positive way.
And are there any more general social media monitoring tools that you'd use? So not concentrating on any particular platform, but just zoning out, looking at sort of the whole plethora of things.
Hootsuite enables you to monitor Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+. So it is quite wide-ranging in what it can monitor. There are other tools such as Sprout Social, which perform a similar function. There are a really large number of sort of monitoring tools out there, but I think in terms of if you're a sort of a relatively small business, you can't afford to break the bank, but you need some straightforward monitoring tools. I think Hootsuite is a great place to start.